Hi everybody, this is Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. I have a passion for helping people go from unfulfilled jobs to their dream careers. And I am doing something I haven't been able to do for a while. I'm doing another Curbside Convo with you. So yesterday we weren't able to do our coffees and career chat. And so I wanted to just kind of tell you all what I was thinking about, what I wanted to share with you all yesterday on this impromptu Curbside Convo. Here it is. One of the Corona career concerns and mindset hurdles that I often hear from clients is I keep applying for jobs and I don't hear anything back. And that's very, very discouraging. I keep applying for jobs and I don't hear back. Or I applied for the job, I interviewed, and I didn't hear anything back. And that's a Corona career concern because the job market is changing. Hiring practices have had to adjust to this new normal. And so people are really, really concerned. Hello, welcome. Are concerned about their careers. Hi, welcome. And so I wanted to give you some wisdom around what to do when you apply for a job and don't hear back. What to do when you apply for a job, get an interview, and don't hear back. Tip number 1 is to stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Can I be transparent with you all? Because it's a judgment-free zone. A part of the reason why I started this company was because I believe that there's 2 things that we've all experienced. That's missed opportunities and embarrassing moments. I have had my share. And one of the things that has always haunted me before I was able to put together this program was those missed opportunities where I would apply for a job and didn't hear anything back. Where I would go for an interview, I was prepared for this interview, I dressed for it, I practiced with my e-board, I did everything I was supposed to do, and wouldn't you know, they didn't call me back. I couldn't believe that they did not call me back for this job. And so one of the things that really helped me, and I really want to share this with you, is to stay encouraged. Because if you get in a place of despair, heartbreak, confusion, anger, and sadness, you're putting yourself in a position not to be able to follow tip number 2, which is to learn from it. So the first tip is to stay encouraged. Write down what went well about the experience. Okay, so I was able to apply for the job. Did my resume fit the qualifications? Did I follow the 3 T's of the right tool, the right, making sure I had transformational language, and make sure I stayed away from that task-based language, and to make sure that everyone's able to see those transferable skills that I had. If I did that, okay, let me see how I can improve upon that. So the first thing is to stay encouraged, because sometimes companies pass you up, and it might be because you met the qualifications, but maybe it's time for you to be, you may have exceeded their expectations. Just because you didn't get a call back from that position doesn't mean you shouldn't apply for a different position. So you want to stay encouraged. Tip number 2 is to learn from the experience. Now, what does that mean? It could be a humbling, heartbreaking experience to find out you didn't get a job. I'll raise my hand. It happened to me before. It actually happened to me for 2 different positions in less than 6 months. And boy, was I heartbroken. I was heartbroken because I knew I needed the promotion. I knew I needed the raise. I knew my family's needs were increasing. And so when I did not get, check that out, 2 positions within a matter of a couple of months, I was heartbroken. But let me tell you what I did, which is what most candidates don't do. I went to the person who interviewed me and said, hey, why didn't I get hired? Yep. I put my feelings aside. I put my ego down, and I said, hey, why didn't you hire me? Got out my notebook and my pen, scheduled some time with them, and I learned from that experience. They told me this is what we were looking for. This is what you presented. This is how you measured up, and this is where you need to work on things. Oh my goodness. Life changing. I'm so glad that I stayed encouraged and I learned from it, because guess what? What wound up happening, which is step number 3, look for a better position. I wound up not only being hired for one of the positions that didn't originally hire me, but they asked me, hey, did you want to come on board and we'll pay you even more than what you interviewed for? Of course. Of course I would take that job. Of course I would take the less stress and more passion. Of course I'll take the job that's got the higher salary, that's going to lead me to lead the lifestyle that I wanted to lead. So there goes your 3 tips, you all. If in fact you applied for a job and didn't hear anything back, if you applied for a job and got an interview and still didn't hear anything back, you've got to do these 3 steps. 1, stay encouraged. Cry if you got to. Vent if you have to. But then get encouraged again. You were encouraged when you applied for the job. You were encouraged while you were waiting to hear something back. So you know how to be encouraged. Tip number 2 is to learn from it. Get your pen, get your pad out. Figure out why you were not hired. I suggest you send an email to the hiring manager. Call if you know who you spoke to directly in HR, because when you go to the interview, you should ask for the card of the HR representative so you can send a thank you letter. So whoever you send the thank you letter, thank you email to, send them an email. Say, hey, I haven't heard anything back. If you've already filled the position, congratulations on being able to fill that position. Welcome, you all. What could I have done to be a more qualified candidate? First of all, that's going to show them that you are still very interested in their mission and their vision. Second of all, they may say you are overqualified, or you know what, that position was filled quickly because someone else had more experience or someone else was able to present themselves in a different way. But guess what? We've got another position open for you. So you've got to stay encouraged. You got to stay encouraged in order to learn from it. And then go back and see if there's another position that's greater than you. Because a lot of times people get discouraged when they're playing it small. When you know you've got this passion, when you know you've got skills that super exceed this position, but you're applying for it because it's comfortable. That's a good word right there. That's a mindset hurdle that we have. That we are comfortable in positions and we keep applying from it. And a part of the reason why we get discouraged is because how did I not get that job? I'm qualified for that. Right, because you're not operating outside of your comfort zone. So I highly encourage you to operate outside of your comfort zone. Oh, let me see. Somebody said, we would love to have you. Oh, I would love to too, HBCU Misters and Miss. I would love to be able to join your conference for new student leaders. So go ahead and send me an email. And you all can send me an email to jessicacanty@jessicacanty.com. I would love to be able to, because I have a thing for student leaders, especially student leaders at HBCUs, because HBCUs are where I was born and bred. A lot of what I know about my career and knowing how to present myself in the best light is because of HBCUs. I absolutely love them. Twice graduated from them. Love them. So definitely want to make that connection for you all. The other thing is, I wanted to tell you the way that you stay encouraged and the way that you learn from it and the way that you go back and apply for hire is to make sure you have the right people in your ear. How do you do that? Be very careful about what you're listening to, because a lot of things now, I don't know about you all, but I'm seeing it. Everybody's saying this is how you make $1,000 in 1 minute. This is how you grow your followership. All you have to do is pay us and we'll make sure you get more followers. It's really easy to get rich quick schemes. It's really easy to get things fast, and just as little as 30 minutes you can get abs. Just as little as an hour you can make a full meal for your family. Be very, very careful, because quick doesn't mean sustainable. Did you catch that? Quick does not mean sustainable. So if you want to build a legacy of a career that you're fulfilled in, that you're passionate about, you have to stay encouraged, because the truth of the matter is, if you're looking at the numbers, there are a lot of companies that are hiring, but there are a lot of companies that unfortunately have to close. I was heartbroken the other day when I found out that one of the companies I frequent and that my daughter really loves is closing, because the reality is, if you're working for a nonprofit, if you're working for a small business, sometimes they have to close because of the restrictions and the safety precautions that are being put in place. So you have got to stay encouraged. If you are using that one size fits all resume, that is another reason why you want to make sure that you do that tip number 2 to get information, to learn from it. Okay, so again, I've heard it from clients over and over again. I'm just so tired of putting my resume out there and it doesn't fit. If you're using the same resume from 2005, that's why it doesn't fit. If you didn't create a new resume for that specific position, you're putting a hurdle between you and your success. So stay encouraged about that. Get the right information about that. Learn from it. Humble yourself and say, because when you go on that interview, or even when you submit the resume, You can look on their email address and find out who's doing the hiring practices, or on their website, find out who's doing hiring practices, and just send an email. Just wanted to say, congratulations if you filled the position. I was just curious, what could have made me a more qualified candidate? I'm really interested in your mission and your vision. I know my skills can align with that. Can you let me know, if you can send me via email, can I get on the phone with you for about 15 minutes? Just kind of chat about what would have made me a more qualified candidate. And last but not least, go back and apply better, bigger, better, dream bolder. You don't have to meet all 10 requirements of that job description. A lot of times you probably surpass them, but you have told yourself those mindset hurdles that I'm not educated enough. This is a position for a man and not a woman, or a woman and not a man. This is a position for someone that's not a person of color. So this is a position for somebody who is over 40. And so you really have to stay encouraged. Like I said, you want to make sure you learn from it, and you want to make sure you apply for hire. All right, you all, I'm thrilled to have another Curbside Convo with you, but the conversation doesn't stop here. If you join our Facebook group, Cubicle Conversations, you can get exclusive offers. You want to know how to join it? Click the link in the bio, send me an email, jessicacanty@jessicacanty.com, or go directly to jessicacanty.com. It's been a pleasure chatting with you all. Until next time, friends.